When you first look at this map, it feels dense, almost overwhelming. Lines overlap, colors compete for attention, labels crowd the page. But that density is not clutter, it's information. This map is doing exactly what a good map is supposed to do: compress an enormous amount of real world complexity into a single readable surface. This is a detailed regional map centered on the village of Woodbury in Orange County, New York. And what we're seeing here is not just geography, it's infrastructure, governance, land use, and human movement all layered together. Let's start with the overall structure. The color language of the map. The first thing your eyes notice is color. Pale yellow dominates much of the map, while large green areas sit to the east and north. Blue lines and shapes cut through everything. These colors aren't decorative, they're functional. Yellow typically represents developed or residential areas. Streets are dense here, labels are frequent, and parcel boundaries are implied. Green indicates protected land or parkland, such as Harriman State Park and Bear Mountain State Park. Notice how roads thin out dramatically in these zones. Blue is reserved for water features: lakes, reservoirs, rivers, and streams. Orange and red lines highlight major roadways and highways, drawing attention to regional connectivity. This color hierarchy is deliberate. The cartographer, which is Maps and Locations, wants you to immediately understand where people live, where they don't, and how movement happens between those places. Roads, the skeleton of the map. Now let's focus on the roads because they form the skeleton of this entire map. Look at Interstate 87, thick blue north-south corridor cutting through the center. This road isn't just a line, it's a statement. The thickness, color, labeling all tell you this is a high-capacity, limited-access highway. Everything else orbits around it. Then you have US Route 6, shown in bold red as it curves eastward through forested terrain. Unlike the interstate, this road bends and adapts to the landscape. That curvature tells the story. Older routes often follow terrain, while interstates impose geometry. Smaller roads branch off like capillaries: thin black lines for local streets, slightly thicker lines for collector roads, occasional dash to lighter lines indicating minor or restricted paths. This hierarchy allows the map to show thousands of roads without losing clarity. Pathways, boundaries, and invisible lines. Some of the most interesting elements of the map are the lines that don't represent roads. Look closely and you'll see town boundaries, county lines, school district borders, and park boundaries. These are often drawn as dashed or dotted purple or gray lines. They don't affect how you move physically, but they deeply affect how land is governed. For example, the boundary between Orange County and Rockland County is clearly marked. This matters for taxation, zoning, emergency services, and education, but none of that is visible on the ground. The map makes the invisible visible. Topography without contours. Interestingly, this map does not rely heavily on contour lines, which are common in topography maps. Instead, elevation is implied through road curvature, water flow direction, density of development. Notice how roads in the green parkland areas twist and spread apart. That suggests rugged terrain. In contrast, the residential areas are gridded or gently curved, land that's easier to build on. This is a subtle cartographic choice. Instead of explicitly showing elevation, the map lets infrastructure tell the story of the land. Water as a structure, not decoration. The blue features on this map, lakes, reservoirs, streams, are not just visual accents. Water shapes everything here. Roads bend around lakes, development stops abruptly at reservoirs, park boundaries often follow watersheds. Look at how lakes are named and precisely outlined, even small ones. The level of detail suggests this map was designed for planning, navigation, and land management, not just casual reference. And that's true. Water features are usually derived from survey data and hydrographic data sets, carefully generalized so they remain readable at this scale. Typography, the quiet discipline. Typography on this map deserves special attention. Different fonts communicate different meaning. Large, bold serif text for town names, lighter spaced lettering for counties, small, condensed label for streets, italicized names for water bodies and natural features. Label placement is one of the hardest problems in cartography. Every name must be readable, must not collide with others, and must clearly point to the correct feature. Much of this work is assisted by software, but final adjustments are often manual. Good typography disappears, you only notice it when it's bad. This map was created by GIS software, ArcGIS, and the base data was taken from government roadway data and census and municipal boundary files. Multiple layers, each toggled and styled and ordered: roads, water, land use, and administrative boundaries, labels. This is where cartography becomes design, not just data. Scale, grid, and precision. Notice the grid overlay and the scale bar in the corner. The grid allows for precise referencing, coordination with other maps, professional and institutional use. The scale bar reminds us of an important truth. Maps lie unless scale is respected. A road that looks short may be miles long. A lake that seems small could dominate a local ecosystem. Scale governs what details are included and what are left out. Every omission is intentional. What this map really represents. At its core, this map is not about Woodbury alone. It's about how humans organize land, how movement shapes settlement, how nature constrains development, how invisible rules become visible through lines and symbols. This is not just a picture of a lake, a picture of a place. It's a snapshot of decisions, engineering decisions, political decisions, environmental decisions layered over decades. So, for closing thought, the more you look at the map, look at a map like this, the more it reveals. What begins as a navigation tool becomes a historical document, a planning artifact, a quiet record of human intent. Maps don't just show us where we are, they show us why things are the way they are. And that is what makes maps endlessly fascinating. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more different kinds of maps that Maps and Locations will be talking about. Hope you like this episode. More is yet to come. Thank you.